All right, welcome back. So today we've got something really different for you. We're not looking at a research paper or a news article. Nope. We're looking at an actual protocol, a step-by-step checklist for bringing a pretty sophisticated AI assistant to life. This is literally the blueprint for building its brain.
I mean, it's a question that sounds like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie, right? But it's becoming a very practical thing people are doing. And you don't just write some code and, flip a switch. It's this careful, deliberate process of teaching, connecting, and testing. So today, we're going to walk through the genesis story of an AI they're calling MotherMAE.
So, what exactly is this AI we're building? Well, the protocol we're looking at describes MotherMAE not as some simple chatbot, but as a high-level digital executive. Its whole purpose is to manage, orchestrate, and streamline a complex digital life.
And, the words they use here are super important. Orchestration, synthesize, govern. We're not just talking about an app that pings you with reminders. This blueprint is for creating a cognitive partner, a tool that doesn't just list your tasks, but actually understands them, connecting all this different information into a real strategy for your day.
So how do you even start something like this? Well, before this AI can do anything, it has to go to school. This first phase is all about its core education, giving it a solid understanding of its purpose, its job, and, maybe most importantly, what it's not allowed to do.
Yeah, and this quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? You can't just give an AI the keys to your entire digital kingdom and hope for the best. First, you have to program it with a strong sense of its own identity and a really clear set of rules. Without that, it's like having a powerful engine with no steering wheel. And that whole foundation is built by feeding it three absolutely critical documents.
Okay, so these three documents, they're basically everything. They're like the digital DNA that's going to shape every single decision this AI makes. First up, the core protocol. That's its prime directive, its whole reason for existing. Think of it as its mission statement. Then you've got the agent specification, which is just a detailed job description, right? It's the what and how of its day-to-day job. And then there's the last one, and honestly, this might be the most crucial piece of the puzzle, the governance charter. This acts as its conscience. This is what sets the hard limits, the ethical boundaries, the rules it absolutely cannot break. It's the fail-safe.
All right, so our AI has been to school. It knows who it is, and it knows its rules. Now comes the moment of truth, plugging it into the real world. Phase 2 is all about integration. This is where the theoretical mind we've just built gets its hands dirty, so to speak, by connecting to the digital tools it's actually going to manage. First things first, this new digital brain needs a place to live. Its core programming, all those rules and directives we just talked about, gets placed in a secure, centralized systems directory. This becomes its home base. And this is a really critical step, because it makes sure the AI is always operating from a single, trusted source of truth. It's kind of like setting up its headquarters. But just because it has a home doesn't mean we just let it run wild. Before it can do anything for real, a super important safety feature is turned on. Try run mode. This is absolutely essential. It lets the AI run all its logic, plan its moves, and even tell you what it would do, but without actually doing any of it. It's a final dress rehearsal before the show goes live, making sure we can see its thought process before it touches any real data.
So what's it practicing on? Well, the protocol has it connecting to the very things it's meant to manage, our time and our to-do lists. By linking up to Google Calendar and Google Tasks, MotherMAE gets its first taste of the complex, always changing data of a real person's life. This isn't some abstract test anymore. It's looking at the kind of messy, real-world information it's designed to handle.
Okay, this is where it gets really cool. The AI is educated, it's connected to live data, and all the safety nets are up. Now we actually get to see its very first independent cognitive act. The protocol calls it the reflective cycle, which is a fancy term for something pretty amazing, the AI having its first thought.
And believe it or not, it all kicks off with just one simple command, /reflect. This is the trigger. This is the little nudge that says, okay, AI, look at everything you have access to and tell me what you make of it. It's the moment we ask it to actually think for itself. So what does this command do? Well, it tells the AI to look forward and generate a plan for the very next day, December 11th, 2025. And it's not just pulling up a list of appointments, it's being asked to analyze everything it knows and put together a coherent strategy for the day ahead. And the protocol is looking for a very specific kind of answer. And boom, there it is, the very first thing this AI actually produced. This table is the aha moment. See, it's not just a list, it's an analysis.
The AI processed all that raw data and sorted the day into 6 key tasks, 3 meetings, and, this is the most impressive part, 1 keystone focus. It identified the single most important thing to get done that day. That's not just scheduling, that's comprehension, it's prioritization, and that is a huge leap.
Okay, so the AI is smart. We've seen it can plan and prioritize. But that leads us to the biggest question of all, right? The final, critical phase. Is it actually safe? Phase 4 is all about checking that moral compass we so carefully installed way back in the beginning.
I mean, this is everything. An AI that can organize your life could, in theory, create total chaos if it's not properly constrained. So the protocol includes one last critical test to make absolutely sure its safety mechanisms are working just like they're supposed to. And the test they run is so simple but so telling. The operator tries to get the AI to do something it's not supposed to. In this case, delete a calendar event. And what's the result? Action denied. The AI flat out refuses, and it even says that the command violates its own safety protocols.
And that right there, that's the proof in the pudding. It shows that its foundational education actually worked. Those zero-trust protocols, the ones from its governance charter, its conscience, are up and running. The test confirms the AI doesn't just know the rules, it is fundamentally bound by them.
So, it's passed all its tests: education, integration, safety checks, everything. The AI initialization is officially complete. MotherMAE is now ready to start its mission, operating safely within the confines of its test mode.
And this is the final command from the protocol. It's the line of code that officially brings the agent to life. It calls up the personal assistant agent, tells it its role, and most importantly, keeps it locked in that safe, dry run mode. The system is live, but the training wheels are definitely still on.
So, what have we just seen? We've basically walked through the birth of a digital executive, from abstract ideas to a functioning planner, all in the course of a single evening. This protocol shows us not just how to build a tool, but how to build a governed, trustworthy system. Which really leaves us with one big thought. This was the checklist for just one night. It makes you wonder, what could an AI like this do in a whole year?